What's up with it, y'all? It's Mufasa Uncaged here. I'm back with another game review. Now, as you can see, the game I'm reviewing today is 007 First Light. I'm going to give you my details, I'm going to give you my thoughts, and I'll let you know, is the game worth getting? So, without further ado, fuck the intro, let's get into the video. This time around, we have a new James Bond, along with a new origin story. At the beginning of this game, we see Bond before he joins MI6. He's on a mission with the British military, and before the mission even starts, everything goes to shit. Bond is the only one of his crew that survives the helicopter crash. He then comes across the group of bad guys that have the island on lock, that are up to no good, of course. Along with the bad guys, there is hostages, which Bond, being who he is, he decides to save them in Bond fashion.
Right about now, I'm about to set this bitch off!
Wait a minute. You telling me that this man blew up all these high-end explosives and walked out scot-free? What happened to everybody else?
I'm pretty sure all the enemies died.
Yeah, but what happened to Bond and the hostages? He had hostages with him.
I'm pretty sure they survived because of plot armor.
Man, what the fuck?
Anyways, skipping a few months ahead, he's recruited into MI6 to join the 00 program. He goes through training and learns the ways of being a spy. During his training arc, a major mission comes up, and from there on, Bond dives deep into the world of criminals and spies. Now let's dive into the gameplay. When it comes to this game, you're going to get the 007 spy experience. You're going to have parts when you need to play stealthy, and parts when it turns into an action movie. This game is a linear storyline that advances through missions. It has a sandbox feel to it where you can tackle the mission in different ways, just like Hitman. You can play stealthily or guns blazing. First, I want to talk about the stealth. Playing stealth is the way James Bond shows his secret spy skills off. At the beginning of some missions, you will need to investigate or eavesdrop to gather intel to proceed further in the missions. For example, if you want to get in a restricted area the clean way, then you can eavesdrop on a conversation and get a hint on how to do that. Or you might need to pickpocket somebody who has an access card. If taking the clean route ain't your approach, then you can find your way to sneak in, which may require you to use Bond's wits. When you get caught, it's not game over. You can bluff or gaslight, as I like to call it, guards into thinking you belong in that area. Doing that, you get a second chance if you just happen to mess up or be bad at stealth. You can also perform a fake surrender to let your enemies get closer and knock them out. Now, when it comes to guns blazing action, that's when you sit up and lock in. First, fighting in here is great. Throwing hands in here has to be one of the best ways to take out enemies. I like the way Bond can grab enemies, give them knee shots, throw them over the balcony, or rush them into a wall or counter and mush their head into it. You can also throw random objects at enemies to stun them and follow up with a takedown. Gun combat in here is where the game shines. Bond can use bullet time to slow things down to focus on shooting enemies in certain places. Shooting them in the kneecap will stagger them, allowing for a takedown, or shooting their hand will disarm them if they have a weapon. A cool thing about weapons in here is when you run out of ammo, you can throw the gun at enemies to stun them and do a takedown. Enemies have different ranks to them, from grunts, brutes, and including a leader who gives orders. They will even try to flank you. Dealing with armored enemies will take more firepower, or you could just fight them. Speaking of firepower, it's not a 007 experience without gadgets. Bond's gadgets work from his watch. The Q watch can be used for stealth or action situations. You can hack different electronics to cause a distraction or see through walls. The Q watch lets you equip 3 other gadgets to your arsenal. You have the dart phone that lets you shoot a dart at people and makes them sick, which allows you to pickpocket them or sneak past them. The shockwave camera lets you push enemies away with force. It can also be used to knock over structures or send enemies off the edge. The traditional laser can be equipped and used to open locked doors and vents, also temporarily blind people. The flash mine can be thrown at enemies to shock enemies in groups. A smoke pod that basically works like a smoke grenade. Last but not least, a missile pin that shoots a little rocket. Literally a pocket rocket. After beating the story, you have tactical simulations, which are basically replaying sections from the story, but with challenges. Completing challenges will give you points to unlock new outfits, firearms, skins for weapons and gadgets, also upgrades for gadgets, but I think that's only for this mode. I beat this story in 19 hours, which I'm okay with. Not every game needs a 60-hour story for you to feel like you got your money's worth. I thought the pacing in this game was good though. During my playthrough, I didn't really encounter any bugs or glitches, which is good. If I can provide feedback to developers, it would be the fighting. While I like the fighting in this game, I think they could have added more to it. For instance, fighting in the kitchen, they could have let you slam an enemy's head inside the refrigerator door, picking up a frying pan or a knife, and you can use it as a weapon. The dodge could be better too. The only time you dodge is when you're about to be grabbed. I think the dodge could also be used for dodging punches, instead of you parrying jabs all the time. One more thing about the hand-to-hand is taking enemies and using them as shield should have been a thing. Another addition to this game that I know fans old and new would like is multiplayer. They could do free-for-all just like in GoldenEye, maybe a team deathmatch, or even co-op with a friend where you complete missions as 00 agents. When OG fans think of 007, they remember Nintendo 64's GoldenEye split screen. This game may be great without multiplayer, but giving it one would be a good way to reintroduce 007 in the modern age of multiplayer, seeing as it was one of the games that paved the way for first-person shooters. For future content, I would like to see missions called back to some of the movies like Casino Royale, Spectre, Skyfall, or Die Another Day, the one with Halle Berry in it. And what I say next may not happen, but I think it will be cool to see if they have a mission where Bond runs into Lloyd, aka Twilight from Spy Family. Seeing as they're both undercover spies, they're probably after the same target but different agendas. Hell, they can even throw in Mama Yor in the mix as the Thorn Princess. Currently, the game has sold over 3 million copies, which is a success. IO Interactive knocked it out the park with this game by adding what they did with the Hitman games, a little bit of Watch Dogs, and giving it an Uncharted feel to it. But before Uncharted, 007 has always been cinema. It was originally a book first, but over the years, the movies took Bond to the next level. It has already been announced that IO wants to do more for First Light by adding more missions and content to the game. While a sequel has been confirmed, my main concern about this series continuing is Amazon Game Studios. First Light was published and developed by IO Interactive, but Amazon MGM co-owned the creative rights. IO Interactive had a deal before Amazon MGM acquired the 007 IP in 2025. So now that they have their IP, they can do whatever they want with it, and that might be a problem because they could kick IO Interactive to the side and have Amazon Game Studios working on it instead. Amazon Game Studios doesn't really have a good track record with successful games. It would be better to keep IO Interactive around and let them develop 007 future projects, seeing as First Light was a success and they have done well with the Hitman series. With everything I just said in this review, you're left with the question, is it worth it though? And to keep it 100, I say yeah, this game is solid. If you want to wait for a sale, that's understandable. But with all the games that are stacked this year, you're going to have to find the time to play this. At the time of this review, no big titles were dropping for the summer. But come September, it's when it be broke timber for gamers. Have you played 007 First Light? Do you have a favorite 007 movie or game you like? If so, let me know in the comments below. If you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate it. If you want to support a brother, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell note. You can also check out my other content on here and on my other social platforms. Links are in the description below. Now it's time for me to swerve off like 00 to go fuck a hoe, and I will holla at y'all in the next video. Alright, peace.